Pastor Daniel. Pastor Daniel, please wait. I have been sitting outside this church since 5 o'clock this morning, waiting and hoping and praying that you would listen to me today. I know you are a very busy man of God, and I know that there are many people who come to you every single day asking for help, but Pastor, I am begging you with everything inside of me, please just give me 5 minutes of your precious time. My children have not eaten anything in 3 days, Pastor. 3 whole days. My little Sarah, she is only 10 years old, and she cried herself to sleep last night because her stomach was paining her so badly. And my son, little Emmanuel, he is just 4 years old and he has developed a terrible fever because we have been sleeping outside under the bridge near the market. I am not asking for millions, Pastor. I am not asking for a car or a house. I am just asking for enough money to buy food for my children and maybe some medicine for my son who is burning with fever as we speak right now.
My dear Sister Grace, I hear you, and I truly sympathize with your situation from the very bottom of my heart. But you have to understand something very important that I am about to tell you right now. This church is not a charity organization, and I am not a bank where people can just come and withdraw money anytime they feel like it. Do you know how many people come to me every single day with the same kind of story? Pastor, I need money. Pastor, my children are hungry. Pastor, I am sick. If I give money to every single person who comes to me with a sad story, this church will close down before the end of this month. I have responsibilities too, you know. I have a church to maintain, I have programs to fund, I have conferences to organize, and I have international partnerships to sustain. The work of God requires serious financial management, and I cannot be distributing church funds to every person who shows up at the door with tears in their eyes. What I will advise you to do, sister, is to go and look for work. Find something to do with your hands. The Bible says that if a man does not work, he should not eat. I am a pastor, not a social welfare officer.
Pastor Daniel, I have tried. God knows that I have tried with every single ounce of strength that is left in my body. I have gone to every shop in this town, every restaurant, every market stall, every construction site, and I have begged people to give me any kind of work to do. I told them I can wash plates, I can sweep floors, I can carry loads, I can do anything, absolutely anything at all, just to earn enough to feed my children. But nobody will hire me because I look like this. Look at me, Pastor. Look at my clothes. They are torn and dirty because I have no place to wash them, and I have no other clothes to wear. People look at me and they see a dirty, homeless woman, and they chase me away like I am a dog. Some of them even call the security guards to drive me away from their premises. I came to this church because I believe that the house of God is the one place on earth where a suffering person can find help and compassion. I believed that the people of God would not turn their backs on a mother whose children are dying of hunger. Was I wrong to believe that, Pastor? Was I wrong to put my hope in the Church of the Living God?
Look, take this 2,000 naira and manage it. That is all I can do for you right now. And please, I am saying this with love in my heart, please do not make it a habit of coming to sit in front of this church every morning, because it gives a bad impression to our members and visitors. We have very important dignitaries and wealthy business people who attend this church, and when they see someone like you sitting on the steps looking the way you look, it discourages them from coming inside. I hope you understand what I am trying to say. Now if you will excuse me, I have a very important meeting with the state governor's wife about our upcoming charity gala, and I cannot afford to be late. May God bless you, sister. I will be praying for you.
2,000 naira, Pastor? This cannot even buy a full meal for my 2 children, let alone medicine for my sick son. But I will take it because even this small amount is an answer to prayer when you have absolutely nothing. But Pastor, let me tell you something from the bottom of my heart before you go. One day, God Himself will ask you what you did with all the wealth and resources He placed in your hands. He will ask you about every single person who came to your door hungry and left still hungry. He will ask you about every sick child whose mother begged for help and was turned away. I do not say this with anger or bitterness in my heart, Pastor. I say it because the Bible that you carry in your hand, that same Bible says that whatever you do for the least of these, you do it for Jesus Christ Himself. I pray that God will open your eyes before it is too late. So this is where you are living now, Grace? Under a bridge like an animal? I must say, when my brother married you 10 years ago, I told him that you would bring nothing but poverty and bad luck into our family, and look at what has happened. Everything I predicted has come to pass exactly as I said it would. My poor brother, may his soul rest in peace, worked so hard to build a life, and the moment he died, everything fell apart because you were never capable of managing anything on your own. You were always dependent on him for everything, like a parasite, and now that he is gone, you are here under a bridge with his children, living like homeless beggars on the street. Do you know how embarrassing this is for our family? Do you know that people in the community are talking and laughing at us because of you? Margaret, I did not choose this life. You know very well what happened after your brother died. You were there when your mother and your family members came to our house and threw me and my children out on the street. You were standing right there in the living room when they took everything, the house that your brother and I built together with our sweat and sacrifice, the car, the furniture, the television, everything down to the last cooking pot. They said that as a widow, I had no right to my husband's property, because I am a woman and because our marriage was not registered in court. You watched them do all of this, Margaret, and you did not say a single word in my defense. Not one word. And now you come here to mock me? You come here to insult me and tell me that I am an embarrassment to your family? Where was your family when my children needed a roof over their heads? Where was your family when my son fell sick and I could not afford to take him to the hospital? Where were all of you when I was going from house to house begging for food to keep my children alive? Do not try to make me feel guilty, Grace, because it will not work. Everything that happened to you is the consequence of your own poor decisions and your own lack of planning. A wise woman would have made sure her marriage was legally registered. A wise woman would have saved money and made investments for the future instead of depending entirely on her husband. A wise woman would have learned a trade or gotten an education so that if anything ever happened to her husband, she would be able to stand on her own 2 feet and take care of herself and her children. But you spent your days cooking and cleaning and playing the perfect housewife while my brother did all the thinking and all the planning and all the earning. And now you want to blame everyone else for your situation? No, Grace. You brought this upon yourself, and I refuse to feel sorry for you. How dare you say that to me, Margaret? How dare you stand there in your fine clothes and your expensive handbag and tell me that I brought this upon myself? I was a good wife to your brother. I took care of him when he was sick, I supported him when his business was failing, I prayed for him every single day and night, and I loved him with everything in my heart. And when he asked me to stay home and take care of the children, I did it because that is what we agreed together as husband and wife. I sacrificed my own ambitions and my own dreams because I wanted to build a strong home for my family. And you call that foolishness? You call that poor planning? Let me tell you something, Margaret. The same God who sees me under this bridge today also sees you in your comfortable house. The same God who counts my tears also counts yours. Life has a way of humbling the proud and lifting up the lowly. I may be down today, but I serve a God who specializes in turning impossible situations around. And one day, Margaret, one day, you will remember this conversation, and you will realize that you were wrong about me. Save your preaching for someone who cares, Grace. I did not come here to argue with you. I actually came here to tell you something important. Our family has decided to take custody of Sarah and Emmanuel. We have spoken to a lawyer, and he says that since you were homeless and unable to provide for the children, the court will grant us custody. My mother wants to raise them properly, in a real house, with real food and a real education, not under a bridge like street children. You should be grateful that we are willing to take this burden off your shoulders. You can barely take care of yourself, so how can you possibly take care of 2 children? Think about it carefully, Grace. This is the best thing for everybody, especially for the children. Over my dead body, Margaret. Over my dead body will I allow anyone to take my children away from me. Those children are all I have left in this world. They are the reason I wake up every morning and fight to survive. They are the reason I have not given up completely. You tell your mother and your family and your lawyer that Grace is not dead yet. I may be broken, I may be homeless, I may be hungry, but I am still their mother, and no court, no lawyer, no family meeting will ever change that fact. God gave me those children, and only God can take them away from me. Now leave, Margaret. Leave this place and go back to your comfortable life, and tell your family that they will have to kill me first before they take Sarah and Emmanuel away from me. Good evening, Ma. Please, I am so sorry to disturb you, and I know that you are probably in a hurry and you have important places to be, but please, Ma, I am begging you in the name of God Almighty, please help me. My 4-year-old son is very, very sick. He has had a high fever for the past 5 days, and it is getting worse every single day. I took him to the government clinic, and they told me he has malaria and typhoid, and they wrote a prescription for medicines that he needs to take immediately, but when I came to this pharmacy to buy the medicines, they told me that the total cost is 15,000 naira, and I do not have that kind of money. I do not even have 500 naira to my name right now. I have been standing outside this pharmacy for the past 2 hours, asking people to help me, but everyone has walked past me like I am invisible. Please, Ma, you look like a woman who has been blessed by God with abundance. Please, help me save my son's life. I will pay you back, I promise. I will work for you, I will do anything, absolutely anything you ask me to do, just please help me buy these medicines before it is too late for my child. Another one of you street beggars with your rehearsed sob stories. Do you people think I was born yesterday? Every single day, everywhere I go, there is someone with a sick child story or a hospital bill story or a school fees story. I have heard them all, my dear, and I have learned my lesson the hard way. The last time I gave money to someone who told me her child was sick, do you know what she did with the money? She went and used it to buy hair extensions and new clothes for herself. I found out later that she did not even have any children. She was a professional beggar who goes around telling lies to get money from kind-hearted people like me. So forgive me if I am not moved by your tears and your story, because I have been deceived too many times to fall for this kind of thing again. Ma, I am not lying to you. Look, this is the prescription from the clinic. You can see the doctor's name, the date, the hospital stamp, everything. And if you do not believe me, you can come with me right now to where my children are, and you will see my son with your own eyes. You will see how sick he is, how his body is burning with fever, how he can barely open his eyes. I am not a professional beggar, Ma. 6 months ago, I had a home, I had a family, I had a life. My husband died and his family took everything from me and threw me and my children out on the street with nothing. I have been struggling to survive ever since. I am a human being, Ma, just like you. The only difference between us is that life has been kind to you and cruel to me. But that does not make me a liar, and it does not make me less deserving of compassion and help. Please, Ma, I am begging you. If not for my sake, then for the sake of my innocent child who is suffering through no fault of his own. Look, even if your story is true, I cannot solve every problem in this world. I work hard for my money. I wake up at 4 o'clock every morning, I go to my factory, I manage my workers, I deal with suppliers and customers and government officials, and I handle stress that would break most people in half. Nobody gave me anything for free. Nobody helped me when I was starting out. I built my business from scratch with my own 2 hands, my own sweat, and my own intelligence. So when people like you come to me expecting me to just hand over money because you are suffering, it annoys me deeply. Why should I work hard so that you can benefit? Go and find your own solution. Go to a government hospital where treatment is free. Go to a charity organization. Go to a church. Just do not come to me expecting handouts, because I am not Father Christmas. I have my own problems and my own bills to pay. Ma, I hear everything you are saying, and I understand your frustration. You are right that you work hard for your money, and nobody is disputing that. But Ma, let me ask you one question, just one small question, and then I will leave you alone forever. When you lay your head down on your soft pillow tonight, in your beautiful air-conditioned bedroom, in your big house, and you close your eyes to sleep, will you be able to sleep peacefully knowing that somewhere in this same city, a 4-year-old boy is burning with fever and might not survive the night because his mother could not afford medicines that cost less than what you probably spent on the perfume you are wearing right now? Will your conscience let you rest? I am not trying to guilt you or manipulate you, Ma. I am simply asking you a sincere question from one woman to another, from one human being to another. Can you truly walk away from this moment and feel nothing? I will pray for you and your son. That is the best I can do. God will provide for you if you have enough faith. Good night. Please. Please, somebody help me. My son. My baby boy. He started convulsing under the bridge about 30 minutes ago, and his entire body was shaking like a leaf in a storm, and his eyes rolled back into his head, and I thought he was going to die right there in my arms. I ran all the way here from the bridge near the Central Market carrying him on my back, and I did not stop running for one single second because I was so afraid that if I stopped, if I slowed down even for a moment, he would stop breathing. Please, nurse, please take him and help him. Do whatever you need to do, give him whatever medicine he needs, just please, in the name of God, save my child. He is only 4 years old. He has not even started school yet. He has not even had a chance to live his life. Please do not let him die. I am begging you with my life, please save my son.
Okay, calm down, madam, calm down. I can see that your son is in a critical condition, and I understand your fear. Believe me, I see this kind of situation every single night in this emergency room. Let me call the doctor immediately so that he can examine the child and determine what treatment is needed. But madam, I need to be honest with you right from the beginning so that there are no misunderstandings later. Before we can begin any treatment, we will need you to make a deposit. That is the hospital policy, and it applies to every single patient who comes through those doors, no exceptions. The minimum deposit for emergency admission is 20,000 naira, and that is just the deposit. The final bill could be much higher depending on what treatment the doctor prescribes. Do you have the money to make the deposit right now? Do you have anyone you can call who can bring the money?
20,000 naira. Nurse, I do not have 20,000 kobo, let alone 20,000 naira. I am homeless. I live under a bridge. Everything I own in this world is the torn clothes on my body and the 2 children that God gave me. I have no money, I have no family that will help me, I have no friends, I have nobody. But nurse, please, I am begging you, please do not let hospital policy kill my child. He is innocent. He did not ask to be born into poverty. He did not ask to be homeless. He did not choose any of this. He is just a little boy who wants to live, and the only thing standing between him and life right now is 20,000 naira that I do not have. Surely this hospital, this place that is supposed to save lives, surely you cannot just stand here and watch a 4-year-old child die because his mother is poor. What kind of world is this where money determines whether a child lives or dies?
Madam, you are breaking my heart right now, and I want you to know that. I became a nurse because I wanted to save lives, not because I wanted to collect money from desperate mothers. Every single day, I see people like you come through these doors, sick, broke, terrified, desperate, and every single day, a piece of my heart breaks because I know that the system is failing them. I know that it is wrong to refuse treatment to a dying child because of money. I know it, and it haunts me every single night when I go home. But madam, I am just a nurse. I do not make the rules in this hospital. The hospital management has made it very clear that no patient should be treated without a deposit, and the last nurse who violated that policy was fired on the spot. I have my own family to feed, my own children to take care of, and I cannot afford to lose this job. But listen to me carefully. Let me take your son to the back and lay him on a bed. I will give him a basic fever injection and put him on a drip to stabilize him for now, and I will do it quietly without telling the administrators. But madam, you will need to find the money somehow before morning, because when the day shift comes in and they see a patient without a deposit, they will discharge him immediately regardless of his condition. Do you understand what I am telling you?
Oh, God bless you, nurse. God bless you abundantly. You are an angel. You are a true angel sent by God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will find the money. I do not know how, but I will find it. If I have to go from house to house on my knees begging, I will do it. If I have to walk to every corner of this city, I will do it. Just please, please take care of my baby. Let him know that his mother is fighting for him. Let him know that he is not alone. Please, nurse, treat him like he is your own child, and God will reward you in ways that you cannot even imagine.
I will take care of him, I promise you. Now go quickly and see if you can find help before morning. And madam, do not give up. I have seen God do miracles in this hospital that science cannot explain. I have seen patients who the doctors said had zero chance of survival walk out of here on their own 2 feet. If God can do that, He can certainly provide 20,000 naira for your son's treatment. Go, and have faith.
Please, sir, please. I am sorry to bother you this late at night, and I know this looks very suspicious, a woman approaching a man on a dark street, but sir, I am desperate. My 4-year-old son is in the hospital right now fighting for his life, and the hospital says they will not treat him unless I pay a deposit of 20,000 naira, and I do not have even 1 naira to my name. I have been walking the streets for the past 3 hours, knocking on doors, stopping cars, begging anyone and everyone I can find, and nobody has helped me. Some people rolled up their car windows when they saw me coming. Some people told their drivers to speed up. One woman even sprayed pepper spray in my direction because she thought I was a thief. Sir, I am not a thief. I am not a criminal. I am just a mother trying to save her child's life. Please, sir, please help me. I can see from the way you are dressed that God has been good to you. Please let some of that goodness flow down to me and my dying son tonight.
You say your son is in the hospital and you need 20,000 naira? That is actually a small amount of money. I have much more than that in my wallet right now. As a matter of fact, I just finished having dinner that cost me over 300,000 naira, so 20,000 is nothing to me. I can help you, my dear. I can solve your problem tonight, right now, immediately. But you see, in this life, nothing is truly free. Everything is a price. Every transaction requires something from both sides. You need my money, and I have certain needs too. A beautiful woman like you, even in those torn clothes, I can see that you have a very lovely figure. So what do you say? I have a hotel room not far from here. We can go there, spend a little time together, and after that, I will not only give you the 20,000 naira for your son's hospital bill, but I will also give you an extra 50,000 naira for yourself. That is 70,000 naira total, my dear. Think about what you could do with 70,000 naira. You could feed your children for months. You could rent a small room. You could start a small business. All you have to do is come with me for just a few hours. What do you say?
Sir, how can you say such a thing to me? How can you look at a desperate, crying, suffering mother and instead of feeling compassion, instead of feeling the kind of basic human sympathy that even animals feel for each other, the only thing you can think about is how to take advantage of her situation? What kind of man are you? What kind of human being sees a woman drowning in suffering and instead of throwing her a lifeline, tries to push her head further under the water? I am somebody's daughter. I was somebody's wife. I am somebody's mother. I am a child of the living God, and my body is not a commodity that can be traded for money, no matter how desperate my situation may be. I would rather die on this street tonight than sell my dignity and my honor for 70,000 naira or 70 million naira. What would I tell my daughter if she ever found out that her mother sold her body to pay a hospital bill? How would I face my children? How would I face God? No, sir, not tonight, not ever. Keep your money and keep your hotel room. God will provide for my son in a way that does not require me to destroy myself.
You foolish woman. You and your big talk about God and dignity. Let me tell you something that life has taught me in my 65 years on this earth. God does not pay hospital bills. Money pays hospital bills. Dignity does not buy medicines. Money buys medicines. You can pray from now until next year, and your son will still die in that hospital bed unless somebody pays that bill. And when he dies, you can comfort yourself with your precious dignity and your prayers. I offered you a solution, a practical, immediate solution, and you rejected it because of what? Pride? Morality? Religion? Those things are luxuries for rich people, my dear. Poor people like you cannot afford principles. But that is your choice. Good night, and good luck with your prayers.
God. God, are you there? Can you hear me? I know you said in your word that you will never leave me nor forsake me, but God, right now, in this moment, I feel so alone that I cannot breathe. Everyone has turned their backs on me. The church rejected me. My family abandoned me. The rich people mocked me. And now this wicked man tried to buy my body like I am a piece of merchandise in the market. God, I have nothing left. I have no money, no home, no food, no hope. All I have is you, and if you fail me too, then I have nothing at all. But I choose to believe, God. I choose to believe even when everything around me says there is no hope. I choose to trust you even when I cannot see your hand. You are the God who parted the Red Sea. You are the God who fed 5,000 people with 5 loaves and 2 fishes. You are the God who raised Lazarus from the dead. Surely, surely you can save one little boy in a hospital tonight. Please, Father. Please send help. Send an angel, send a stranger, send anybody, but please, please do not let my son die.
Mrs. Grace, I am glad you are back. Please sit down because I need to talk to you about your son's condition, and what I have to tell you is not easy for me to say, and it will not be easy for you to hear. I have examined Emmanuel thoroughly, and the situation is more serious than we initially thought. Yes, he has severe malaria and typhoid, but the tests also show that he is severely malnourished, which has weakened his immune system to a dangerous level. His body is struggling to fight the infections because it simply does not have the strength or the resources to do so. The convulsions he experienced earlier this evening were caused by the extremely high fever, and if we do not bring that fever down and start treating the infections aggressively with strong intravenous antibiotics and antimalarial drugs within the next few hours, I am afraid that there is a very real possibility that we could lose him. His organs could start shutting down, and at that point, there would be very little that medical science could do to save him. I am telling you this not to frighten you, but because you need to understand the urgency of the situation. Time is not on our side.
Doctor, please, I am begging you, please do not let bureaucracy and hospital policies stand in the way of saving my son's life. I know I do not have the money for the deposit, and I know that the hospital has rules that must be followed, but doctor, you took an oath when you became a doctor. You swore to save lives, to do no harm, to put the welfare of your patients above everything else. My son is lying in that bed, fighting for his life with every tiny breath he takes, and the difference between his life and his death right now is not medicine or technology, it is money. It is pieces of paper with numbers printed on them. How can we live in a world where a child's life is worth less than pieces of paper? Doctor, if my son dies tonight because this hospital refused to treat him, his blood will be on the hands of everyone who had the power to save him and chose not to. Please, doctor, I am not asking you to break the law. I am asking you to follow a higher law, the law of humanity, the law of compassion, the law of God that says every human life is precious and worth saving. Please help my son.
Mrs. Grace, I want you to know that I hear you, and your words have touched me deeply. I have been a doctor for 20 years, and in those 20 years, I have seen too many children die not because medicine could not save them, but because money stood in the way. It is the most frustrating and heartbreaking aspect of this profession, and it keeps me awake at night more often than I would like to admit. Nurse Blessing has already told me about your situation, and she has been advocating for your son all night. Between you and me, I am going to start treatment immediately. I will deal with the hospital administration in the morning. I will tell them that it was an emergency situation and that I made a medical judgment call to save the child's life. They may reprimand me, they may even dock my pay, but I became a doctor to save lives, and that is exactly what I intend to do tonight. Your son is going to receive the best care I can provide, and we are going to fight for him with everything we have. But Mrs. Grace, I need you to have faith, not just in medicine, but in something bigger than medicine. Because frankly, your son is going to need a miracle.
Thank you, Thank you, doctor. Thank you, God. Oh, thank you, Father. You heard my prayer. You heard the cry of a desperate mother, and you sent this doctor to help my son. Doctor, you do not even know what you have just done. You have restored my faith in humanity. After everything I have been through tonight, the rejection, the mockery, the humiliation, you are the first person who has treated me like a human being deserving of dignity and compassion. God will bless you, doctor. He will bless your family, He will bless your career, He will bless everything you touch because you chose to do the right thing when it was easier to do nothing. I will never forget you for as long as I live. Never.
Do not thank me yet. Thank me when your son walks out of this hospital on his own two legs. Now I need to go and start the treatment immediately. Nurse Blessing will keep you updated on his condition throughout the night. Try to get some rest, Mrs. Grace. You are going to need your strength for the days ahead.
Excuse me, ma'am, are you alright? I do not mean to intrude on your privacy, and please tell me if I am overstepping my boundaries, but I have been sitting here for about 5 minutes now, and I cannot help but notice that you seem to be carrying an enormous weight on your shoulders. Your eyes are swollen from crying, your clothes are. Well, I can see that you have been through something very difficult, and the expression on your face tells me that whatever is happening in your life right now, it is something that no human being should have to face alone. My name is David, and I am here to visit my cousin who had surgery yesterday. I know I am a complete stranger to you, and in this day and age, people do not trust strangers, and for good reason. But something in my spirit is telling me to talk to you, to reach out to you, and I have learned over the years to listen when that inner voice speaks. So please, if you feel comfortable, tell me what is going on. Sometimes just talking to someone, even a stranger, can lighten the load a little bit.
Why do you care? I am serious. Why do you care? Are you one of those people who likes to hear sad stories so that you can feel better about your own life? Or are you going to listen to my problems and then tell me that you cannot help, just like every other person I have talked to in the past 24 hours? Or worse, are you going to try to take advantage of my situation like the last man I asked for help? Because if you are, let me save you the trouble. I have nothing left to give. I have no money, no possessions, no energy, and no patience for people who pretend to care when they really do not. The only thing I have left in this world is my faith in God, and honestly, even that is hanging by a thread right now.
Ma'am, I am not going to lie to you and tell you that I have all the answers or that I can solve all your problems because I cannot. I am not a rich man. I am not a powerful man. I drive a taxi for a living, and most days, I barely make enough to cover my fuel and take care of my mother who lives with me. But what I do have is a heart that was raised by a praying mother who taught me that the greatest thing a human being can do in this life is to show kindness to another human being who is suffering. My mother always told me, David, if God puts someone in your path who is in need, and you have the ability to help them in any way, no matter how small, then that person is not there by accident. God placed them there as a divine assignment for you. So when I walked into this waiting room this morning and I saw you sitting here looking like the whole world had collapsed on your shoulders, something inside me said, David, go and talk to that woman. She needs help. And here I am. I do not know what I can do for you, but I am here, and I am listening, and I genuinely care. Please, tell me your story.
My name is Grace, and 6 months ago, my husband died of a sudden heart attack. He was only 35 years old, healthy, strong, full of life, and one morning he just collapsed in the bathroom, and by the time the ambulance arrived, he was gone. Just like that. In the blink of an eye, my entire world shattered into a million pieces. But the death was only the beginning of my nightmare, David. After the funeral, my husband's family, his mother, his brothers, his sisters, they came to our house, the house that my husband and I built together over 8 years of marriage, and they told me that as a widow, I had no right to anything. They said the house belonged to their family, the car belonged to their family, even the furniture and the appliances belonged to their family. They gave me 1 hour, to pack whatever I could carry and leave with my 2 children. My daughter Sarah, who is 10, and my son Emmanuel, who is 4. I begged, I pleaded, I cried, I screamed, but they were like stones. They felt nothing. They pushed me out the door with my children and locked it behind us. Since that day, we have been living under a bridge near the Central Market. I have begged for food, I have searched for work, I have gone to churches, I have gone to government offices, and nobody has helped me. And now, to make everything worse, my son Emmanuel is lying in this hospital right now with severe malaria, typhoid, and malnutrition. The doctor says he could die if he does not receive intensive treatment. They started treating him last night because the doctor had compassion, but the hospital bill is going to be enormous, and I have no idea how I am going to pay it. And on top of all that, my husband's family is now trying to take my children away from me, saying that I am unfit to be their mother because I am homeless.
Grace, I want you to listen to me very carefully, and I want you to hear every single word that I am about to say because I believe with all my heart that it is God Himself who is putting these words in my mouth right now. What you have been through is one of the most unjust, cruel, and heartbreaking things I have ever heard in my entire life. And the fact that you are still here, still fighting, still breathing, still believing in God after everything that has been done to you, that tells me something very important about who you are. You are not a weak woman, Grace. You are one of the strongest women I have ever encountered. A weak woman would have given up a long time ago. A weak woman would have accepted that evil man's indecent proposal on the street last night. A weak woman would have let her husband's family take her children. But you did none of those things. You stood your ground, you maintained your dignity, and you kept your faith. That is not weakness, Grace. That is warrior-level strength, and God sees it, even if the whole world is blind to it. Now, I want you to know that I am not going to walk away from you today. I do not have much money, but whatever I have, I am going to use it to help you and your son. I have about 35,000 naira that I have been saving to repair my taxi engine, but your son's life is more important than my taxi engine. God can fix my taxi another time, but if we do not act now, we could lose Emmanuel, and that is something I am not willing to let happen on my watch.
David, no. I cannot take your savings. That is your livelihood. That is how you make money to take care of yourself and your mother. If you give me your savings and your taxi breaks down, how will you survive? I cannot be the reason another person suffers. I have already caused enough trouble for the people who have tried to help me. The nurse who helped Emmanuel last night could lose her job because of me. The doctor who started treatment without a deposit could be punished because of me. I cannot add you to that list, David. I will not take your money.
Grace, let me tell you something that my mother taught me when I was a young boy. She said, David, when God tells you to give, do not argue with Him. Do not calculate. Do not worry about tomorrow. Just obey. Because the same God who told you to give is the same God who will replenish what you gave and multiply it beyond your imagination. Grace, I believe with everything in me that God brought me to this hospital this morning specifically to meet you. Out of all the hospitals in this city, I came to this one. Out of all the waiting rooms, I walked into this one. Out of all the seats, I sat near yours. That is not coincidence, that is divine orchestration. God is answering your prayer, Grace. You prayed last night on that dark street, didn't you? You cried out to God and asked Him to send someone to help you. Well, here I am. I am not an angel with wings. I am just a taxi driver with a willing heart, but I believe that is enough because when God is behind something, even the smallest offering becomes a mighty miracle. So please, take the money. Take it and pay for Emmanuel's treatment. And we will trust God together for everything else. Good morning, nurse. My name is David, and I am here regarding the little boy, Emmanuel, who was brought in last night by his mother Grace. I understand that there is an outstanding deposit that needs to be paid before the hospital will officially continue his treatment. I have 35,000 naira here that I would like to put toward his hospital bill. I know it may not cover everything, but it is a start, and I am hoping that it will be enough to ensure that the boy continues to receive treatment while we figure out how to raise the rest of the money. Can you please tell me what the total estimated cost of his treatment is going to be, so that I know exactly what we are working with?
Sir, are you a relative of the patient? A family friend? How do you know Grace and her son?
I met Grace for the very first time about 30 minutes ago, right here in this waiting room. I had never seen her before in my life. I came to the hospital to visit my cousin, and God led me to sit near this woman and listen to her story. And after hearing what she and her children have been through, I could not just walk away and pretend like I did not hear anything. My conscience would not allow it, and my faith would not allow it. I know that 35,000 naira is not a fortune, but it is everything I have, and I am giving it willingly and joyfully because I believe that is what God wants me to do today. So please, tell me, how much will the total treatment cost?
Sir, in all my years of nursing, I have never witnessed anything like this. You are telling me that you met this woman 30 minutes ago, and you are already giving her your entire savings? Do you know how rare that kind of generosity is in this world? Do you know how many people I have watched walk past suffering without even blinking? Last night, when Grace brought Emmanuel in, I violated hospital policy to give that child a basic injection and put him on a drip because I could not bear to watch him die. I have been praying all night, sir, all night, asking God to send help for that woman and her child because I knew that if help did not come by this morning, the administrators would discharge Emmanuel regardless of his condition. And now here you are, a complete stranger, walking in with exactly what is needed at exactly the right time. Sir, this is not ordinary. This is God at work. The total estimated cost of Emmanuel's treatment, including antibiotics, antimalarials, drip fluids, tests, and a minimum of 5 days admission, will be approximately 75,000 naira. Your 35,000 will cover the deposit and the initial medication, but we will still need another 40,000 for the rest of the treatment. However, sir, you have already done more than enough. You have bought us time. The doctor can now officially proceed with full treatment, and we will have a few days to figure out the remaining balance. God bless you, sir. God truly bless you.
Nurse, I want you to go ahead and officially register the deposit right now so that there are no problems with the administration. And I am going to make some phone calls. I have a few friends, a few passengers who have become regular customers over the years, good people with kind hearts. I am going to reach out to every single one of them and explain the situation. I believe that if God can move the heart of a stranger like me, He can move the hearts of others too. We are not going to let that boy's treatment stop for lack of money. Not on my watch. And nurse, please take extra special care of him. He may not have a father, but from this moment on, he has someone in his corner fighting for him. Tell Grace not to worry. Tell her that God has heard her prayers, and the miracle has already begun.
David, my son, come and sit down. You left this house early this morning to go visit your cousin in the hospital, and now you are coming back at 7 o'clock in the evening. That is over 12 hours, David. What happened? And why do you have that look on your face? It is the same look your father, God rest his soul, used to have whenever God was doing something significant in his life. Tell me everything, and do not leave out a single detail, because you know your mother can tell when you are holding something back.
Mama, something happened today that I cannot explain with logic or reason. Something that I believe was entirely orchestrated by the hand of God, and I need your wisdom and your counsel, because the decision I have made is going to affect both of us, and I want to make sure that you understand why I did what I did and that you are at peace with it. Mama, this morning, when I went to the hospital, I met a woman in the waiting room. Her name is Grace, and she is a widow with 2 small children. Her husband died 6 months ago, and his family threw her and the children out of their home and took everything, the house, the car, the money, everything. She has been living under a bridge with her children, homeless, hungry, and desperate. Her 4-year-old son Emmanuel was brought into the hospital last night with severe malaria and malnutrition, and the doctor said he could die without immediate treatment. The hospital was refusing to treat him because she could not pay the deposit. Mama, I gave her my 35,000 naira. The money I was saving to repair the taxi engine. I gave her all of it.
David, let me make sure I understand what you are telling me. You met a complete stranger this morning, a woman you have never seen before in your life, and you gave her every single naira you have been saving for the past 3 months to repair your taxi engine, the same taxi that is our only source of income, the same taxi that has been making strange noises for weeks and could break down at any moment? That is what you are telling me?
Yes, Mama. That is exactly what I am telling you. And I know what you are thinking. You are thinking that I was foolish, that I was impulsive,
that I let my emotions overrule my common sense. You are thinking about our bills, about the rent that is due next week, about the food budget, about all the practical things that we need money for. And you are right to think about all of those things, because they are real and they are important. But Mama, when I sat in that hospital waiting room and I listened to that woman's story, when I saw the pain in her eyes and heard the desperation in her voice, something happened inside me that I cannot explain. It was like God reached into my chest and grabbed my heart and said, "David, this is your moment. This is why I put you on this earth. Not to accumulate money, not to build wealth, but to be my hands and my feet in the life of someone who has been abandoned by everyone else." Mama, I could not walk away. If I had walked away from that woman and her dying child, I would never have been able to look at myself in the mirror again. I would never have been able to pray again without feeling like a hypocrite. I would never have been able to read my Bible again without those words feeling hollow and empty. So I gave her the money, and I do not regret it for 1 second. But I need to know, are you angry with me, Mama? Are you disappointed?
My son, my precious, beautiful son. How could I be angry with you when you have done exactly what I raised you to do? How could I be disappointed when you have proven that every prayer I ever prayed over your life, every lesson I ever taught you, every Bible verse I ever read to you at bedtime has taken root in your heart and produced the kind of fruit that makes heaven rejoice? David, I am not angry. I am not disappointed. I am proud, prouder than I have ever been of you in your entire 38 years on this earth. Your father, oh, if your father could see you right now, he would weep with joy because this is exactly the kind of man he prayed you would become. Listen to me carefully, my son. God did not send you to that hospital today just to help that woman. God sent you to that hospital today because He is about to do something extraordinary in your life, something so big and so beautiful that it will bring glory to His name and bless generations after you. I do not know what it is yet, but I can feel it in my spirit. When you give to God through His people, God does not just repay you, He transforms your entire destiny. You watch and see, David. Something remarkable is coming. Something that will make this 35,000 naira look like a drop in the ocean compared to what God is about to pour into your life. Now, tell me more about this woman. Tell me about Grace. David, you came back. I honestly did not think you would come back. I thought maybe yesterday was just a beautiful dream that I would wake up from and find myself alone again. But here you are, in the flesh, standing right in front of me, and I cannot tell you what that means to me. Emmanuel's fever broke at 3 o'clock this morning, David. 3 o'clock. The nurse came and checked his temperature, and for the first time in 6 days, it was normal. She said the antibiotics are working, and the doctor said that if he continues to improve at this rate, he might be able to leave the hospital in 4 or 5 days. David, my son is going to live. My baby boy is going to survive. And it is because of you. Because a total stranger walked into a hospital waiting room and chose to see a human being instead of a beggar, chose to see a mother instead of a nuisance, chose to see a divine appointment instead of an inconvenience. How do I thank you for that, David? What words in any language are big enough to express the gratitude that is overflowing in my heart right now?
Grace, please do not thank me. Thank God. I am just the delivery man, He is the sender. And I have good news. After I left the hospital yesterday, I went home and told my mother about you and your children, and do you know what she did? She did not scold me for giving away our savings. She did not lecture me about being irresponsible. She praised God, Grace. She actually lifted her hands and praised God right there in our living room because she said that God was using her son to fulfill a divine purpose. And then she did something that brought me to tears. She went to her bedroom, opened her old wooden box where she keeps her personal savings, money she has been putting aside little by little from selling her homemade chin chin and puff puff at the market, and she brought out 20,000 naira and told me to bring it to you today to put toward Emmanuel's hospital bill. 20,000 naira, Grace. My mother is not a wealthy woman. She is a 70-year-old widow who sells snacks at a market stall. But she gave from her heart without hesitation because she said, when God tells you to sow, you sow into good ground, and this woman Grace is good ground.
David, stop. Please stop because I cannot take any more. I am going to break into 1,000 pieces from the weight of this kindness. Your mother does not even know me. She has never seen my face, never heard my voice, never looked into my eyes, and yet she took her hard-earned savings and sent them to a stranger. What kind of people are you? What kind of family is this? In the past 6 months, my own family abandoned me, my own in-laws robbed me, my own church rejected me, and people I have known my entire life turned their backs on me. But a taxi driver I met in a hospital waiting room and his 70-year-old mother who has never seen my face have shown me more love, more generosity, and more humanity in 2 days than all those people showed me in 6 months combined. David, I do not know what God is doing, but I know He is doing something. I can feel it in every bone in my body. Something is shifting in the spiritual atmosphere around my life. For the first time in 6 months, I feel hope. Real, genuine, solid hope. Not the kind of hope that comes and goes like the wind, but the kind of hope that plants itself in your chest and says, "Hold on, Grace. Your breakthrough is near."
And there's more, Grace. I made those phone calls I told the nurse about. I called 7 of my regular taxi passengers, people I have driven to work, to church, to the airport, people who have gotten to know me over the years and trust me because I have always been honest and reliable with them. I told them your story, Grace. I told them everything, about your husband, about his family, about the bridge, about Emmanuel, about the hospital. And Grace, every single one of them responded. Every single one. One man, a retired civil servant named Mr. Adebayo, sent 10,000 naira and said he wishes he could send more. A woman, Mrs. Shakwan, who I drive to church every Sunday, sent 15,000 naira and a bag of clothes for you and the children. Another passenger, a young university lecturer named Dr. Ahmadi, sent 5,000 naira and said he wants to connect you with a women's empowerment organization that helps widows. In total, Grace, including my mother's 20,000 and the additional contributions from my passengers, we have raised an additional 58,000 naira. Combined with the 35,000 I already paid, that is a total of 93,000 naira. Emmanuel's full treatment, including 5 days of admission, all medications, all tests, everything, is covered. And there is still 18,000 naira left over, which I want you to use to rent a small room for yourself and the children so that when Emmanuel is discharged, you do not have to take him back under a bridge.
Grace, my daughter. Oh, look at this place. It is small, yes, but it is clean, it is dry, and it has a roof, and that is what matters. After months under a bridge, this room must feel like a palace to you and the children. How is my little Emmanuel doing? Is he eating well? Is the fever completely gone? David told me that the doctor was very pleased with his recovery and said it was nothing short of miraculous how quickly his body responded to the treatment, considering how malnourished and weak he was when he was admitted. I brought some jollof rice and fried chicken because every child who is recovering from an illness needs good food to rebuild their strength, and nobody makes jollof rice like your Mama Ruth, if I do say so myself. Mama Ruth, you have been coming here every single day since we moved into this room 5 days ago. Every day you bring food, every day you bring clothes, every day you bring encouragement, and every day you bring the love of God wrapped up in your smile. Emmanuel is doing wonderfully, Mama. He is eating like a horse, he is running around the room like his old self, and this morning he looked up at me and said, "Mama, I like this house because it does not rain inside like under the bridge." Can you imagine? A 4-year-old boy, grateful for a one-room apartment with a mattress on the floor, simply because it does not rain inside. That broke my heart and healed it at the same time. And Sarah, my daughter, she is so happy, Mama. She has been singing and dancing all week. She told me yesterday that she wants to go back to school, and for the first time in 6 months, I actually believe that it might be possible. Mama Ruth, I need to ask you something, and please answer me honestly. Why? Why are you doing all of this for us? You do not know us. We are not your family. We are not your tribe. We are not your responsibility. Why have you and David opened your hearts and your home and your wallets to a stranger and her children? What is your motivation? Because in my experience, nobody does anything for free. There is always a hidden agenda, always a catch. always a price to pay. So please, Mama, tell me the truth. What do you want from us? Grace, my beautiful daughter, I am going to tell you something now that I have never told anyone outside my immediate family, and I am telling you because I believe God wants you to hear it so that you will understand that what is happening to you right now is not random kindness, it is divine repayment for a debt that has been owed to me for over 40 years. When I was 25 years old, I was exactly where you are today. Exactly. My husband, David's father, was a hard-working carpenter who loved God and loved his family more than anything in this world. One day, while he was working on a construction site, a wall collapsed on him and killed him instantly. David was only 3 years old at the time, the same age as your Emmanuel. After my husband died, his family came and took everything, just like your husband's family did to you. They took the house, the land, the tools, everything. They threw me and little David out with nothing but the clothes on our backs. I was homeless, Grace. I slept in an uncompleted building with my son for 4 months. I begged for food. I washed people's clothes for pennies. I sold water in traffic. I did everything I could to survive and to keep my son alive. And just like you, I cried out to God. I screamed at the heavens. I asked God why he had abandoned me. And just like you, God sent a stranger to help me. A woman I had never met before, a market trader named Mama Kishi, found me and David sitting under a tree in the rain one afternoon. She took us to her home, fed us, gave us a room, and helped me start a small snack business that has sustained me and my son for over 35 years. Mama Kishi has been dead for 15 years now, God rest her soul, but her kindness lives on in me, and now it lives on in David, and one day, Grace, it will live on in you. That is how God works. He does not always send angels with wings from heaven. Sometimes he sends a market woman with a pot of rice. Sometimes he sends a taxi driver with a willing heart. Sometimes he sends a 70-year-old widow with 20,000 naira and a covered pot of jollof rice. God uses ordinary people to perform extraordinary miracles, Grace, and right now, he is using us to perform a miracle in your life, just as he used Mama Kishi to perform a miracle in mine 40 years ago. Mama Ruth, God sent you to me. He truly, truly sent you. For 6 months, I thought God had forgotten me. I thought he was punishing me for something I did wrong. I thought he was testing me beyond my ability to endure. But now I see the truth. God was not punishing me, he was positioning me. He was leading me through the valley of the shadow of death so that he could bring me to a place of restoration and blessing. He took me to the lowest point of my life so that when he lifted me up, everyone would know that it was his hand and not my own strength that did it. Mama, I am going to make you and David proud. I am going to rebuild my life, not just for my children, but for every widow and every homeless mother out there who is going through what I went through. I am going to turn my pain into purpose and my testimony into a ministry.
Grace, look at this place. I cannot believe what I am seeing right now. 3 months ago, you were sleeping under a bridge, and today you are standing in your own office with your name on the wall. The Grace Foundation. Do you know that Dr. Ahmadi, the university lecturer who donated to Emmanuel's hospital bill, called me this morning and told me something that nearly knocked me off my chair? He said that the women's empowerment organization he connected you with was so impressed by your story and your vision that they have approved a grant of 2 million naira for you to establish the Grace Foundation as a registered non-profit organization dedicated to helping widows who have been thrown out of their homes and stripped of their rights. 2 million naira, Grace. And that is not all. He said that a journalist from a national newspaper heard about your story and wants to do a feature article about you and the foundation, which could bring even more funding and attention to your cause. God is moving, Grace. God is moving in ways that are beyond anything we could have imagined.
David, do you remember that morning in the hospital waiting room when I asked you why you cared? Do you remember how broken I was, how suspicious, how angry at the world? I could not understand why a stranger would show kindness to someone like me because every experience I had had in the months before that moment had taught me that the world was a cruel, selfish, heartless place where nobody helps anyone unless there is something in it for them. But you proved me wrong, David. You and your mother proved that there are still people in this world whose hearts beat with the love of God, people who give not because they expect something in return, but because giving is who they are. It is in their blood, in their bones, in their DNA. And now, because of what you did for me, I am in a position to do the same for others. The Grace Foundation has already identified 15 widows in this city alone who are going through exactly what I went through. Women who were thrown out of their homes after their husbands died, women who are sleeping under bridges and in uncompleted buildings with their children, women who have been told by society that they are worthless and invisible. I am going to find every single one of them, David, and I am going to help them the same way you helped me. I am going to give them food and shelter, yes, but more than that, I am going to give them hope. I am going to show them that their story is not over, that God has not forgotten them, that the miracle they have been praying for is already on its way.
Grace, there is something else I want to talk to you about today, and I have been praying about this for weeks, asking God to give me the right words and the right timing. Grace, over the past 3 months, as I have watched you heal and grow and transform from a broken, desperate woman into this powerful, purposeful, radiant force of nature standing in front of me right now, something has happened in my heart that I did not plan and did not expect. Grace, I have fallen in love with you. Not because of pity, and not because I feel obligated, but because you are the most extraordinary, courageous, resilient, faithful woman I have ever known, and I cannot imagine spending the rest of my life without you in it. My mother has already told me that she considers you her daughter, and she has been praying for months that God would bring us together not just as friends but as partners for life. I know the timing may seem strange, and I know you may need more time to heal from everything you have been through, and I completely respect that. But I want you to know how I feel because you deserve to know that you are loved, Grace, deeply, genuinely, unconditionally loved.
David, do you know what I prayed for the night before I met you? I was on my knees under that bridge, in the darkness, with my sick son burning with fever beside me and my daughter sleeping on a piece of cardboard, and I said, God, I do not need wealth. I do not need luxury. I do not need fame or power. All I need is one person. Just one person in this entire world who will see me, truly see me, and love me for who I am, not for what I have or what I can give them. David, you are the answer to that prayer. You saw me when I was at my lowest, my ugliest, my most broken, and instead of looking away, you looked closer. Instead of running away, you ran toward me. Instead of judging me, you loved me. How could I not love you back? How could my heart not open up to a man who gave his last naira to save my son's life? A man whose mother sent her savings to a stranger's hospital bed? A man who spent weeks calling passengers and friends to raise money for a woman he had just met? David, I do not need more time. I have already spent 6 months in darkness, and I do not want to waste another moment being afraid of the light. Yes, David. My answer is yes. To whatever you are asking, to whatever God is orchestrating between us, my answer is yes, and it will always be yes.
Grace? Is that you? I almost did not recognize you. You look so different from the last time I saw you. What happened? How are you? How are you looking so well? And those clothes, they look new and expensive. Did someone help you? Did you receive some kind of inheritance or something?
Good afternoon, Pastor Daniel. Yes, it is me. The same Grace who sat on the steps of this church 6 months ago begging for help while her son was dying of malaria. The same Grace you gave 2,000 naira to and asked not to come back because my appearance was discouraging your wealthy members. Do you remember the day, Pastor? Because I remember it very clearly. I remember every word you said. But I did not come here today to remind you of your failure or to make you feel guilty. I came here because I wanted you to see something with your own eyes. I wanted you to see what God can do when human beings refuse to help but God Himself steps in. I am no longer homeless, Pastor. I am no longer hungry. My son Emmanuel is healthy and strong. My daughter Sarah is back in school. I am engaged to a wonderful man who loves me and my children. And most importantly, I have started a foundation called the Grace Foundation that is dedicated to helping widows and homeless mothers, the very people that this church was supposed to be helping all along but wasn't. In 3 months, we have already helped 15 families, and by the end of this year, we hope to help 50 more. We have received funding from organizations, donations from individuals, and support from communities all across this city. And do you know how it all started, Pastor? It started with a taxi driver who had 35,000 naira and a heart full of love. Not a wealthy businessman, not a powerful politician, not a famous pastor, a taxi driver. God used a taxi driver to do what this church, with all its millions and all its programs and all its conferences, refused to do. Let that sink in, Pastor.
Grace, I do not know what to say. I am ashamed. I am deeply, profoundly ashamed of myself and of this church. You are right about everything. We failed you. I failed you. I was so caught up in building a big church and impressing wealthy members and organizing fancy events that I forgot the most basic commandment of the faith I claim to preach: to love my neighbor as myself, to care for the widow and the orphan, to feed the hungry and clothe the naked. I stood in this pulpit Sunday after Sunday preaching about the love of God while a woman and her children were starving on my doorstep. What kind of pastor does that? What kind of man of God turns away a mother whose child is dying because he does not want her appearance to offend his congregation? Grace, I am sorry. I am so sorry. And I know that sorry is not enough, and I know that words cannot undo the damage, but I want you to know that your story has changed me. From this day forward, this church is going to be different. We are going to establish a welfare fund for widows and the needy. We are going to open our doors to the broken and the desperate. And if you will allow it, I would like this church to partner with the Grace Foundation and provide resources and support for the incredible work you are doing. It would be an honor and a small step toward redemption for all the wrong we have done.
Pastor Daniel, I forgave you a long time ago. Bitterness and unforgiveness are chains that keep the prisoner locked up, not the offender, and I have spent too long in chains already. I accept your apology, and I welcome the partnership. But let today be a lesson not just for you but for every person in this church and everyone watching this story unfold. God does not need our permission to perform miracles. He does not need our wealth, our status, our position, or our power. All he needs is one willing heart, one person who says, "Here I am, Lord, use me," and he can turn the most impossible situation into the most incredible testimony. I was homeless, and God gave me a home. I was hungry, and God gave me food. I was broken, and God gave me wholeness. I was alone, and God gave me a family. I was hopeless, and God gave me purpose. Everything the enemy stole from me, God has restored tenfold, and he is just getting started. To every widow, every homeless mother, every abandoned woman watching this story, I want you to hear me when I say this: do not give up. Your miracle is closer than you think. The same God who saved me is the same God who will save you. He is not a respecter of persons. He does not check your bank account before he answers your prayers. He only checks your heart. And if your heart is sincere, if your faith is real, then hold on just a little while longer, because your David, your divine helper, is already on the way. God bless you, and remember, you are never too broken for God to use, and your story is never too dark for God to rewrite with a glorious ending.
God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. James 4:6. Pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this: to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction. James 1:27. And my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:19. As for Pastor Daniel, he transformed his church into one of the most community-oriented ministries in the country, with 40% of all church income dedicated to helping the needy. This story is a reminder that God's miracles often come through ordinary people with extraordinary hearts. Never underestimate the power of one act of kindness. It can change a life. a family, a community, and even a nation. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. Share this video with someone who needs hope today. Drop a comment below sharing your own miracle story. We read every single one. Type amen if you believe that God is able to turn your situation around.